Well,
Don't give up the dream.
I'm young and dumb. Like, what's that song by Khalid?
Oh, yeah.
Young, dumb, and bro. Oh, because I didn't sell my body. I'm not on OnlyFans. Ugh, very dumb.
They're very dumb, very poor.
Very poor.
I say.
That's one thing I'm just like, God, I wish I had that. Like, that's why I'm like, why do people like not make fun of, but like judge people who like do that? I'm like, they are making their coin. Like, I wish.
Same.
Hey, girly pop. Welcome back to another episode of Definitely Delusional. My name is Dean.
And I'm Emily.
Oh, girl. It's so gloomy outside today. What are we doing?
Not sleeping in, that's for sure. I think you and I total are at what, 4 hours of sleep a day, barely, if that.
You know what? I'm going to fall asleep right now.
Okay.
I'm going to just fall asleep right now because, these eye bags, Gucci.
Designer eye bags.
Yeah. Okay. So what is this episode sponsored by today?
For me, I think this episode needs to be sponsored by vitamin C because, girl, the way I've been jet setting, my immune system wrecked, shipwrecked, sunken Titanic, hit the iceberg, on the floor, SOS, help me shoot a flare.
Honestly, at least, okay, here's my take, okay? At least, like, these viruses, like, they're wrecking you more than these men. Like, don't you, like, I wish someone would, anyway.
I mean, no, these viruses are wrecking me as bad as men are. I'm pretty sure I've been ghosted by a couple of these dudes. Like, the roster is clear. The bench is open.
Well, listen, good. Because, first of all, they didn't ghost you. They lost you. Period.
Thanks, babe. So,
I don't know.
It's okay. You know what? It's one of those things where if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not somebody's hell yes, then, like, hell no, get the fuck out of here. Bye.
Literally, bye.
Bye.
Bye, girl. We're
See
giving
ya.
you up for Lent.
Oh my God. Okay. Speaking of Lent, so I was on this 2-week crazy little jet setting bender. So I started in Puerto Vallarta for my best friend's birthday, and that was wild. I love going to Mexico. If it's not for the pharmacies, it's for the Mantamar Beach Club. Oh my God. Everyone there was just delicious to look at. And then I went back home for Mardi Gras. And now I feel like it is the kickoff of Lent, and I'm paying for my sins. I'm atoning. I'm sick now. Can you believe? I mean, I could because I had a really hard 2 weeks, but
I mean, listen, if you go on vacation and you don't come back a little sick, did you have a good time? Did you go on vacation?
Oh, I had the best time on vacation.
Period.
Everyone was like, Emily, I think you had the best time out of everybody on this. The way you were just dancing by yourself in that day club, I was like, oh, honey, this is my personal music video right now.
See, had I been there, it would have been like, fuck, there's 2 of them.
Right?
Because I was here crashing out. I was texting her at like 4 a.m, girl, you need to come back. Because I just texted roster number 8.
Oh, no. You have like the JV, like, backup quarterback that you're texting, not even the varsity, not even third string varsity. You're on JV, second, third, fourth
I
string.
reserved that spot. No one's on varsity.
Oh.
Girl, okay, honestly, that was your sponsor. My sponsor is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind because someone erased my fucking memory. Erase it.
Are you down bad, baby?
Girl, I'm so down bad. I was literally telling Emily earlier, girl, I started singing Adele.
Which song, though? 'Cause there's a spectrum of Adele.
Okay, I told you one song, but do you know what it started with? An even worser song. Like the one that you are like, when you're so like in your room, in your bed, like, I was singing Love in the Dark.
Oh, that's her early stuff.
I was like, well, how does it start? It's like, take your eyes off of me so I can leave.
Oof.
And then I sang Someone Like You.
Oof.
Girl, I'm down bad. Shit. I need to snap out of it.
Sing at least like Water Under the Bridge. Like that at least has a pickup.
A little pickup.
A little pickup.
No, but you know when you want to like go, like when you're sad and then like you just want to go swimming in your sadness? That's just me.
See, that was definitely my teenage years. I loved listening to like Dashboard Confessional. I blame like Laguna Beach for the way I am. But all of those like emo, punk rock, poppy stuff. I mean, that really had me in my feels. Me in middle school thinking that my heart was really broken. And I'm like, babe, you didn't even like kiss a boy until you were 15. Why are you in 8th grade stressing about boys whose voices haven't even dropped? Like right now, my voice is lower than half of those boys in my middle school that I was crying about in my non-existent boyfriend. What? It's delusional.
Well, is it delusional, or you're just like rekindling and making peace with your youth?
Babe,
Me rationalizing everything.
babe, I blocked out so much of my. There are times like just now snippets are like coming through of my youth, and I'm like, oh God, that was a hard blackout for a reason. My brain is protecting me from some of these memories.
Yeah.
It is hard being in middle school and high school. It is not.
I used to get bullied.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to get so bullied, which I'm like, that's why that movie really resonated with me. What was that movie that Substance?
Oh, honey, I am the substance. Have you seen my face right now? It's so tight. Like,
well, no one can tell. I can't tell.
you can't. Good. That means the work is subtle.
I just was like, you look beautiful. I like got out my car today and I was like, wait, you look like the natural. So good.
It's funny what a vacation in the sunshine and a good hydrofacial, a unit of Juvederm, and like 50 units of Botox can do. I mean, come on. I feel like Demi Moore right now. Her on that red carpet, I can't even.
Oh my God, did you see it? I was texting you like literally as it was happening. I was like, she looks so good right now. Like,
gagged. I have no notes. She is timeless. I mean, that woman, she has defied all odds. And I mean, I think, as women age, they're gorgeous. Like even Pamela Anderson, no makeup, stunning. Like no notes. But Demi Moore on that red carpet, I like her dress and her, like, she looks so happy. And the fact that was the movie that she chose to get back into acting, and she was nominated for, lead actress. Good for her, babe. Like, way to take a crack at it.
But also, it's like one of those things where it's like, fuck everyone who said she was a popcorn actress, whatever. Bitch. Everyone's like, that was her breakout. Bitch, she was in Charlie's Angels. Like, she has done so many things where it's like, who cares? It's like, in terms of like, she did something amazing and you need to like give her her flowers for it. And like,
absolutely,
the people who are judging, because I'm a very like, do whatever you want with your body type of person. Do you get what I mean? Because it's like, I've seen people who like didn't get work done, people still judge them. People get work done, people still judge them. And it's like, do what you want with your body, because people are going to always want to say something.
Well, yeah, everyone will always have a criticism or a complaint. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I always make the joke that, when it gets to the point where I have so much work done that if you put me on the back of a milk carton for a missing person, you can't recognize me. Okay, maybe we should have an intervention. But my face is still my face. Like, no one has ever been like, hey, Emily, like, what's wrong with your face? If anything, my friends are like, your forehead doesn't move. And I'm like, great, I pay a lot of money so that I don't show expression.
I mean, listen, I'm so animated that I'm like, well, I'm low-key scared of like cosmetic things, but it's not even for like the judgmental reason where it's like, oh, I'm too good to get it. It's not that. Yeah. I just like, I'm afraid because like, well, I mean, I'm Asian. I don't really need it yet. But then I'm also just like, what if like they fuck up? That's like my biggest fear.
Yeah, that's having a good injector, and I have an amazing injector back home. Her name is Heather. I'm gonna plug her right now. She's back in St. Louis, and if anyone
pack me up and let's go.
Yeah, I go back to see her. She's the only person I trust with my face.
That's the only time I'll ever be in.
Her work just speaks for itself, and if any people want her information, like she is the real deal. I've been going to her for probably about 4 or 5 years now. Consistently, she is the only person I trust, and I will fly back home to see her. She's that good. I mean, that's how you know you have a good injector and you have a good esthetician.
Well, the thing that's like that gets me really scared is that like, so there's a lot of like studies too, because I'd be doing my research. Like Asians, like we have a thicker like skin wall too, so a lot of like people who inject like don't know, like it's not the same, and so they're so used to one type of skin that like they don't do it properly.
Ew.
So then I'm like, I need to like at least go to an Asian like esthetician.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because it's like,
yeah, you should go to someone that knows your face and how to work with it. I think that's a mark of, you doing your due diligence and having a good injector that is able to deliver the product that's intended. But
also if like, well, the thing is that like when I have money, because I'm like, once I have money, no one's really ugly. I just need money.
Well, yeah, you're not ugly, you're just poor. Not you, but that's a saying when they say like, oh, yeah, you're not ugly, you're just poor.
It's not even, well, ugliness is a spectrum, right? But like, here's the thing too. And that's why I'm like, about, because everyone's getting work done, and like sometimes you can't tell. It's like they're pretty, but what if they were like, what if their personality is how they looked, but they got how they looked fixed,
Yeah, that's LA.
right?
That's
It's
literally LA summed up.
I'm like, wait, because sometimes when you see someone so like beautiful, you're like, oh my God, they must be also beautiful on the inside, and you're like, wait, they're not.
Nope. Very rarely does the inside match the outside. And when the inside and the outside match, it's like magic. And those people are like unicorns. And I'm very jealous of them because I'm like, gosh darn it. Not only are you gorgeous, you're also such a nice person. Like, how does it feel to be God's favorite?
Oh.
How does it feel to be God's favorite?
Wow. I'm just kidding. Well, I'm a Sagittarius. Sagittarius, I fear, are God's favorite. But I also feel like, yeah, I don't know.
See, I feel like Cancer women are God's favorite. I mean, all of the housewives on Beverly Hills, not all, but most, majority, were Cancer women. And those women are iconic. They keep the plot going. They drive it. Like so many women that I look up to on television are Cancer women, for sure.
I'm like not even good at astrology. I'm like, I don't even know what that means.
Oh, I love it. I love all of it. Okay, so fun fact about me, and this is how crazy I am. And I will, when I'm out with a guy and I'm getting to know him, I'm like pulling out my astrology, my natal chart, and I'm like, what time were you born? Where were you born at? And I will do a man's chart. I'm dead serious.
That's like
And
kind of hot.
I will walk them through it, and they learn so many things about themselves, and they kind of look at me. They're like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "Yeah, babe. Welcome to the witchcraft." Like, wow,
What if that's
what if we're
it's
compatible?
scaring them off?
Well, then they're not for me anyway.
Oh, that's true.
You
That's
know,
true.
like,
You right. You right. You right. You right.
if you can't handle, I have a tarot card tattoo. I have astrology on, like,
Oh yeah, I remember you showed me.
I have it like astrology inked on my body and tarot card tattoo, and like how it plays back to my sun sign and all this other stuff. And people are like, "Wow, that's a lot." I'm like, "Yeah, well, it's what I like. You know, I chose to put this on my body forever. I might as well put 10 toes down on it."
Well, okay. Do you want to hear a story? You just reminded me of a story. And I wanted to tell the story on this episode too because you're not that crazy. Because I saw this video where this girl used this like person who did tarot. She was like, so she said the whole story, and at the end she disclaimed that she was like, yeah, and I paid this tarot to say this. But anyway, so she was like, she had a person come up to them as they were on the date, and she was like, you've had a lot of breakups, but this, like, and they've always slipped through your fingertips of like the true love of your life, but the woman you are with right now is the real love of your life. And he like believed her because he just said a bunch of things that aligned, right?
God.
Because like she told him, but like she paid him.
That is so nefarious. But like, I wonder if those people are still together or if the guy caught wind and dumped her. I need a follow up.
I don't know. But she posted a video on it, so I'm like, maybe.
I mean, if you are so bold as to do that and post a video, like, I need to know. Like, are you guys getting married? What's going on? Like, these are the cliffhangers that leave me unsettled at night.
Yeah.
I have
It's
to
like
know.
a canceled like pilot. It's like a canceled TV show. It's like, I need to know, but also it's like, let me know so I could take some fucking notes.
Right? That's like the next level sneaky smart. And like, where did she find this person? Did she hire them? Did she say, oh, we'll be here at this time? And then
Probably
guided the conversation. And she's so smooth to guide the conversation to have all those things aligned. I mean, that's like,
well, all the
That was
information that
inception.
she just told him. Like, well, she just told the tarot person so that like they would say it at the right time. So it's like, oh, like you had this heartbreak or like this type of thing, and then like, and she's a whatever sign, and you are this sign. But like, if you're in the perspective of the guy, it's like, oh my God, she doesn't even know us.
yeah, she's a witch. Like, how does she know this
How does she
shit?
know this girl in front of me must be the one? And imagine being played like that.
That's like chestnut checkers level shit. Like, that is somebody who is extremely, extremely one step ahead. Like, this person, yeah, they're playing to checkmate. That
It's giving someone like really like manufacturing, a relationship. Which I mean, to each their own. I'm single, so
same, babe.
I can't really give any criticisms on there.
Same. And that's okay. I think, being single is a good thing. I always tell myself that there are worse things in the world than being alone. Like, there are 1,000,005 things I can think of that are worse than being single. And number one is being in a relationship where you're not valued or respected or being harmed in any way, shape, or form. Like, I've been watching that Gabby Petito documentary. Ugh, nightmares.
Never seen it.
It is alarming. It is sad. And
What happened in it?
So you don't know the Gabby Petito case?
No. I feel like the news, I've been kind of desensitized because there's just so much bad news that I'm like, I need to like.
Well, this is old news. This was during COVID.
Oh, okay.
So is this like little?
Maybe I do know.
You do. You probably do. It was the girl. She went like RV backpacking with her boyfriend, and about a week before she disappeared, there was someone called the police department in Utah and saw that the boyfriend had slapped the girlfriend.
Huh.
And yeah, well, when they pulled, the couple over in the van for erratic driving, essentially Gabby, of course, because she's a victim of like violence, was like, no, it's my fault. Like, he had scratches on him. She had scratches on her. They'd gone to an altercation. She was probably defending herself. Like, she's 110 pounds soaking wet. Like, this girl's not a harm to anybody. So the cops essentially pull them over, and the way that they treated her versus treated him, and like made sure he went to like the domestic violence shelter and she was labeled as the aggressor, and like they left her alone in a van by herself, and like the way that the cop was like, oh, she kind of reminds me of my wife, like she needs to take a shower. And then of course, it turns out that she goes missing. And when I heard that this girl, then they of course have a vlog and they're vlogging about their van life and they seem so perfect. The second that I heard that girl had been missing for more than 48 hours, because I know the way cases usually work, it's when women go missing, more often than not, they're never found and they're dead, or they're trafficked, or they're gone.
Yeah.
They're gone. So, of course, it's found she was strangled. The boyfriend, not to give any spoilers away, but everyone knows this case. It's public knowledge. So the boyfriend is the suspect at large, and his parents essentially hide him in Florida, like are aiding and abetting him. And then he goes missing and is found dead in a swamp or something crazy. And the parents the whole time are like really sus. And like,
he's probably still alive.
That's the whole theory, is that, Brian Laundrie Landry is alive somewhere.
Wait, I remember this.
They
I remember this.
later-
I remember this.
But his parents were really fucking weird. And it's so crazy because it just like, how, I don't know if you've ever been in a very toxic relationship like that. Have you ever been in a toxic relationship before?
Not like a abusive one, because I just would never. If someone put their hands on me, it would just never be.
Well, that's how I felt today when I was taking that self-defense class. Like, I wish somebody would. Like, if a man wants to ever put his hands on me again, like, lights out. Like, I will go to jail. Goodbye, Earl. Cell block tango. I will marry Luigi in prison. Like, maybe that's my catalyst to be with my man.
Also,
maybe this everything has to line up so I can be with Luigi.
Luigi's fashion sense is better than mine, and he's in prison.
He's so hot. Like, I'm sorry.
Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, I saw this. Like, maybe it's fake news, but apparently he has like a porno.
Leaked. I'm just mad it wasn't with me. That's my biggest gripe about the whole situation. Is like,
the gays are happy because I think it might be with a man.
Go for it. I'll watch it.
Oh,
I would. Hey, equal opportunity player. Like,
I should write to him.
You should.
No,
I have his information.
Yeah.
I have his information.
I know. I saw.
Yeah, I have his information.
If you have it, I have it.
Yeah, I'll put money on his books.
No. Okay.
He said don't send more than 3 pictures, so I'll send my best headshots and say, I'm coming, honey. I'm just waiting for you. I think he's at Rikers? Is he at Rikers? Or is he at Brooklyn? Where is he?
I think Rikers.
He's at Rikers.
I don't really.
I feel like Rikers is where you go.
I feel like you have to probably move him often because there's so many like.
Oh, yeah. But he's apparently, like, friends with, like, he's so cool, and prison culture is changing for the better because of him.
Probably. They're probably all like, he's so chill.
Yeah. Dude, I say it once, and I say it again.
He's probably in there giving tips. Like, you need to, like, I'm just imagining him in there, and it's like, you need to thread your eyebrows. Like, you have a you have a little unibrow. Not you. But, like, he's in there, like, you have a unibrow. You need to, like, clean in between those teeth, like, floss a little bit. Wear those nice, like, shoes. I fear that he might be doing that.
I would love that. I mean, prison reform is where it's at. And if you can come out looking hotter, come out of prison looking hotter than when you came in, I mean, that's time well served. Maybe read a book or two, get yourself a college degree, get yourself a sense of fashion. I mean, what else are you going to do in there?
Maybe the love of your life, you haven't found them yet because the love of your life is in prison.
Maybe. I mean, at this rate, love of my ass, it's in prison. He is.
Wow. My frontal lobe just developed. What if the love of my life, I can't find them because they're in prison right now?
I mean, have you seen, I think it's in the state of Idaho, they have this like Instagram where men will go in front of the camera and it tells you what their charge was, and they'll talk about like wanting like a prison pen pal, and it's like it's their video vlogs of being like, I like this, I like that, I'm looking for a person like this, and they essentially are like speed dating.
They said, fuck we the people. Idaho.
Yeah, for
Idaho.
mm-hmm.
Damn.
Life is imitating art yet again.
Anyway, we always somehow talk about Luigi, and I'm just like,
No, I mean, like he is like he's the moment. He's the moment. He will always be the moment. He deserves it. Like he did something really cool. I'm sorry.
I know.
Like,
well, the thing is that like it's one of those things where it's like there are people like doing crazy ass shit in this country right now.
yeah,
And it's like y'all need to be worried about that.
exactly. Well, that's the thing. I think they wanted people to be outraged at him and the fact that we aren't. Like, do you really think he made a sex tape? I don't really think he did. I think it's probably one of those like rage bait. How could he?
Oh no, but it was not even like a bad article. It was like a good one.
Well, that's the thing. I think the intention of leaking that was not to put him in good favor. I think it was to like paint him like this like morally duplicitous person, or like this person who's like disgusting and like morally bankrupt. But we're all like, hell yeah, that's disgusting. Send me the link.
Well,
you know,
I actually don't know if it was a true article.
it's,
But I mean, whatever.
it's
I want
just like a smear campaign. But at the end of the day, it's like making him more popular. And I think that's what's pissing mainstream media off. Is they're like, this man is like Teflon. He is indestructible. We cannot make people mad at him. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not.
I fear that he's also like, it's like, you know, when like the news starts getting like, there's just like, you feel like there's just like no more secrets. Did you see the news about Army Hammer?
Oh God, the cannibal? Or is he not a cannibal?
I have no idea.
The
I actually want to
cannibal.
speak to that because I also am like, I don't really like to talk about those situations because I'm like, unless I'm her, I'm like talking to the victim specifically. Like, I don't know like the details. Do you get what I mean? And like, you know my history with like, I just get really triggered when I read things like that a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
But anyway, did you see the news on him like recently?
No, what about him? What?
So remember he was in that movie Call Me by Your Name?
Yeah.
But I always think he's like, I always thought he was like hot, like he was like really attractive, whatever. But there was an article like it went viral yesterday or something, or like a few days ago. I'm not really sure, but it was like the title of the article was like, he tries like to be into men, like, and he shares his story about like him going on a grinder hookup, but like being flaccid, like he couldn't get hard. But then also, the thing is that like the thing that people are judging him for, it's like. They're like, first of all, are there no secrets anymore? But also they were like, oh my God, like, why would you say that? Because he was like, he wanted to try like Grindr because for the gays, it's so easy. Girl, it's not. But he was like, because the women are the worst. I'm like,
well, you know, I've come to terms to realize this, and this is just me with my 31 years of experience around this great planet we call Earth. By and large, men hate women. Straight men hate women. Other women hate women. Like, it's crazy.
that's something we have to change.
It's not.
But it's only like,
It's indoctrinated, babe.
but then here's the thing though. I will never say it's indoctrinated because I will never accept that as a fact, because if I can be part of the percentage that doesn't, like, you know, because it's like, I hate to see a woman like bringing down another woman. I hate to see a man bringing down a woman. I hate to see a gay bringing down another gay, a gay bringing down a woman. Like, it's just like, girl, can we just all exist?
Well, yeah, I mean, this is a whole TED talk about, you know, the systemic oppression, internalized misogyny.
I went to a liberal arts college. I could talk about this for like 4 hours.
He's a master expert on internalized misogyny. And
well, my first cultural studies program class, because it was required by our college, was gender and pop culture.
It's huge.
Yeah, like Judith Butler. I did all those fucking readings. Like, it was crazy. People were like, when I like start talking, people were like, wait, you actually like read and know?
Yes,
like,
you are intelligent.
I'm like, listen, girl.
Listen, I went to a liberal arts college, baby.
Listen, I'm not as dumb as I appear.
No, I love that. I do find that, you know, people that went to liberal arts colleges are just a little bit more with it. You know, I went to public university, and I can
also
say,
in the Midwest.
Yeah, I can say that the systems that I operated in through college, by and large, were very inherently sexist. Like, period. Fraternity and sorority life. While I gained so many wonderful women through that in my life, like girls that are my lifelong friends, it is a very sexist and very patriarchal society, and there's just inherent fundamental differences in the way that men and women are expected to operate, the standards in which they're allowed to operate,
So crazy.
and the code of conduct and the repercussions for acting out of a certain way.
Yeah, I mean, oh my God. It's like every time, like, you know, like sometimes when you go on like a trip or something, like for me, I had like a fraternity like trip because like here it's like more liberal.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally. Wait, you were in a fraternity? Which one?
I was in Phi Psi.
Nice.
But then when like we had like a trip down, like we went and like Nationals gathering in like Florida, like I met people from like West Virginia, and I was like,
vastly different.
some of them are like, actually, here's the thing though. Some of them were so accepting. Like some of them were like just so like, some of them were gay, but I mean, I was like, y'all are in the closet. But a lot of them were just like very like, they vibed with like my vibe. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, as long as you're not treating me like that's like all we are actually asking for. Like to be treated like just someone else. Like a normal ass person. And I actually, that was the reason why I kind of like loved like going on that trip, because I was like, wait, it made me like view like different parts of the country differently. Because I'm like, okay, maybe not all people are bad. Because like I feel like we jump to that, you know, and then we like psych ourselves out being like everyone sucks. And then I get into a bad mindset. I'm talking more for myself. So I try to give people a little bit more, like I try to be hopeful, is what I'm saying. Even though there's like really no hope to be had. But
no, there's a lot of hope to be had. And you know, it's really funny that, you know, you say that you went to your your fraternity, you know, gathering nationals in Florida. When I think about like all the men in the fraternity, because I dated multiple guys in fraternities and things like that, and I think about the people that I kept in my adult life, they're all gay men. They're all the gay boys from the freaking fraternities. Like I don't really keep.
did they come out in college?
Some did, some did not. It was kind of a mixed bag. And some are definitely, I don't know if they're fully out yet, but like they are living.
Mm-hmm.
They're living in relationships with other men, whether or not they've come out to their parents or not. But like, I think about the people I've kept in my life, and I'm like, oh my God.
I'm trying to think.
There's no wonder.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who. Well, actually, in my school, a lot of like the guys were, like I think like queer.
Yeah.
Like in terms of like in the fraternity, like maybe not all of them, like half of them maybe, but it was like because we went to a liberal arts school again, like so it was like a little bit like it was refreshing. But I will say there was a more straight fraternity on our campus.
So you weren't the gayest?
There was Phi Psi, and then there was also SAE.
Oh, okay. SAE is pretty big.
I have a story though, but let me not, because I don't. Well, I won't say names, but
Okay.
so basically there was like there was like this event for them, and then like we all went back to their like the house, right? And then we're just all like chatting outside in the patio or whatever. And like I think one of my friends in that fraternity was like, he brought a friend from like home, and his friend from home was like trying to hook up with this girl, right? And guess who ended up going home with that man?
I wonder who that could be. I wonder. Okay, let me ask a question to the Ouija board. Is the person in the room right now?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my
But
God.
yeah, that was like a weird ass experience. And then like the girl had no hard feelings though. Like we like debriefed the next day. We were like, what the fuck? I was like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck was.
Well, my thing is, if I was in this situation and I lost out to another guy who was a formidable opponent, I'd be like, there's nothing I could have done. I mean, there's nothing that I could have done in that situation.
But he also was like, he's like, oh no, but I'm straight.
They're always straight, okay? No one is fully heterosexual. Nobody, I will die on this hill that sexuality is a spectrum, and you fall somewhere along that line. You have to.
I'm just laughing because I'm like, oh my God, college was so long ago.
I know. For me, it was 10. I graduated 10 years ago.
Oh my God. I feel like I'm
10.
pushing 40.
You're
I'm
not-
pushing 40.
I'm older than you are,
I
babe.
know, but I feel like I'm pushing 40.
Yeah.
That's how old my soul feels.
Well, you might be an old soul, but then again, I see you go out and you're such a menace that I don't think a 40-year-old would behave that way, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. You're young and sprightly.
Well,
Don't give up the dream.
I'm young and dumb. Like, what's that song by Khalid?
Oh yeah.
Young, dumb, and bro. Oh, because I didn't sell my body. I'm not on OnlyFans. Ugh, very dumb.
They're very dumb, very poor.
Very poor.
I say.
That's one thing I'm just like, God, I wish I had that. Like, that's why I'm like, why do people like not make fun of, but like judge people who like do that. I'm like, they are making their coin. Like, I wish.
Same. I mean, a part of me thought, well, obviously I can't do that based on like my profession
Yeah.
outside of this world, outside of these hollowed walls. But I just think about that and I was like, but also at the same time, I just don't think I would want to know. My biggest deterrent from OnlyFans, truthfully, is I don't want to know who would pay for my subscription and if it was something fucking weird. Like, or if it was like somebody, like a family friend or like a former teacher or somebody's boyfriend or
But it's
like
not even that.
I could not know it. Like being anonymous to me is such a component in being private. Like I would be like, I can't look this person in the eye. It seems very, very strange. Like that would cross a boundary for me that I do not think I could mentally hurdle. Personally.
Well, I mean, that part, like me too, but also the part that messes me up because like technology is getting so much more bigger, right? But like my afraidness is like some people like, you know, like they'll buy it and then they'll download it and then they'll take your face and then they'll go make another video
Well,
of
it's
you like that.
deep faking.
Yeah.
It's
And so it's like so scary. I mean, they could just take your face now and do it, but then it's like it's less believable if you don't have it already up. Do you get what I mean? But then when you already have that, like, and people were like, oh, we took it from there, that people would believe it.
Well,
Do you
they
get what I
judge
mean?
you. They're like,
Yeah.
well, look at, you know, my biggest complaint about people who judge sex work or OnlyFans, it's like there is a market for it. We don't judge the people that are buying the product. We judge the people producing the product. And by and large, the people producing the product are women for the consumption of men. And we're not judging the men for seeking out the product. We're judging the women for producing it.
It's usually the people who buy the product are the ones judging.
It's so crazy. It's like, I know it's repressed guilt or it's projection, but like, does your wife know you're doing this? Like, I'm sure she doesn't, but that woman will be the first one you throw under that freaking Mack truck to you know, have your conscience.
Crazy to me.
That was when I watched the Ashley Madison documentary. That was wild. It's on Netflix and it breaks down the data leak and like all the profiles, and they started leaking like high profile people and just the amount of havoc. It was a lot of people that were the first one to condemn, super religious, quote unquote family men. Oh no, they were like engaging in affairs with essentially like robot profiles. That's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
That's so fucking
Oh, I
embarrassing.
just like, that's why I'm like, oh, girl, I just like, it's crazy. That's why I'm like, I don't take anyone's judgments anymore because I'm like, y'all are just projecting. Everyone's projecting whatever they're suppressing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh dear.
Well, everyone has a skeleton in their closet. And it's usually the people who walk around like they don't have anything on them. They have some really, really diabolical shit going down underneath the surface.
Yeah.
It's always that way.
Well, I mean, they could if like you're just knowing them from the surface, but if they don't share those skeletons with like people close to them and it's also hidden, then that's like because I'm like, a lot of people won't know my skeletons, but you know my skeletons. Like people who are like close to me, who are like in my life, like will know like what I've struggled with, my demons, like my whatever I've like had in my past, because I welcome that. But then not to the whole world, because I'm like, girl, that's like a little bit much, you know?
Well, yeah, and that's your right to safeguard that until you feel that the person that you can tell this to is a safe person to talk to about that. Like, not everybody has unfiltered access to your personal life and your struggles and your demons. Like, that's for you to disclose when you feel safe and you know that this is a guarded secret if you want it to be with someone who's a trusted source. Like, I hate that. Like, I don't feel like I have access to anybody's personal struggles unless they want to talk about them, and it's not my business to ever pry.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing though. Like, that's what I like though, because I'm like, when people pry too fast too, I'm like, girl, this is weird. Like, it just gives me a weird ick. Because I'm like, why are you trying to find out all this information? You barely know me.
And what for? Like, why are you digging? Like, what do you want this for? It makes me question your motives. Like, what are you trying to get on me? What are you trying to leverage?
If they're digging into you too quick, dig their grave because they're dead to you.
Yeah, I know people that are like that. Or I know people that what they'll do is they'll like emotionally dump to try to be like, see, I'm super vulnerable, because they try to gain like your trust by being super vulnerable. And then you're like, oh my God, that was just a lot all at once. Like, oh shit. Because that's the inverse of that. Someone who digs versus someone who just like dumps on you. And I'm like, I'm not qualified for this. Like,
yeah,
I
It has to be a two-way street.
Yeah. You're like, oh, I can get you help. Like, but this is not within my
Yeah.
scope of practice. Like, I
Yeah.
cannot do this right now.
I agree. But also, it's like one of those things where it's like you also have to realize that's why like you have to take like little steps. I feel like because I like always take little steps to be vulnerable to see how people treat me, not treat me, but like react to my vulnerability before I go full send. Because there are people who like I will be vulnerable to, and there are people who I know I should never be vulnerable to because they just will like turn the conversation back to themselves. And it's like, it's fine because I heard this like saying where it's like, there are people that you can't call friends because they don't like, that's like a important label for me personally. Some people just call everyone their friends, but then like, they're not like that off, like to call them an acquaintance. And so I saw like someone posted like, the in between, you can call them friendlies.
I like that because it's not derogatory. It actually seems nice. Like they're friendlies.
Yeah, they're friendlies. Like, they're not a friend. They're not an acquaintance. They're friendlies. Like, they're in between, you know? It's like, there's nothing, like, necessarily wrong. It's just, like, I just wouldn't spill the beans.
Yeah. You're not going to, delve your deepest, darkest secret to this person.
Yeah. Like, the shit that I went through and that I told you about, I was like, I would never, like, do that for, like, random people. I'm like,
no.
Oh. I mean, we could talk about the other stuff one day. About, like, my body stuff and, like, my past and, like, other stuff. Because I talked about that once.
Yeah.
A little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Whenever you're ready, and I think.
I mean, I did a whole TED talk on it. Like, it's already all.
Oh my God.
Like all out on it.
It's on the World Wide Web.
Yeah, so I'm like, it'll be fine.
It's hard, and it's one of those things where I kind of oscillate between wanting to be private about my struggles, but also like if you talk about them and you make them human, then you can deal with them and you can help somebody in the process.
Yeah.
So I kind of oscillate between wanting to be private about certain things and not. Like, there are certain things that I don't know I will ever be ready to publicly disclose. Like, there are just certain things that I just can't. I haven't even made peace with yet. So it's like, when that time comes, I don't know if I ever will. But if it does, we can have an honest conversation about it. But there's other things that I'm like very ready and willing to talk about because I've made peace with them already.
Yeah.
I've done that work.
Yeah.
Even if I haven't.
In your own time.
In my own time, yeah. In my own time. And I think that's good. You've never pushed me to also be like, we're going to talk about this. Or like, I hate when people bait you into things.
Because
I
it's like,
freaking hate that.
Yeah, because it's like, why do you need to find out so bad? It's not your life.
Or they bait you in public with another person. That's like the biggest
That's literally what we were talking about the other day.
It's so deceitful. It's so it's such a violation of trust, and it's deceit. And like, people know what they're doing. It is so malicious and it's so intentional. And like, if you don't know that you're consciously doing it, you are subconsciously trying to prove a point. And you're trying to hurt somebody. And
if your excuse is, oh my God, I was drunk. No, girl.
No. I will remember this distinctly. Somebody in my life at one point told me to my face, like, well, I don't remember the things that I do when I drink, so I'm not accountable for it. I remember that just felt like such a gaslighty mind fuck. Because it's like, okay, so like, you can carte blanche do whatever you want and say whatever you want. And because you don't remember it, you quote unquote can't defend yourself. So I'm obviously making up the things that you've literally put into the universe. Like, it just felt like that, like, mind trap of gaslighting. And I like that has just kind of stuck with me to be like, man, there are actual people who go through life operating like, if I didn't remember it, I didn't do it. Or if I didn't remember it, it's like, this is not valid. Like, it's not it's not admissible. And I'm like, this is crazy.
Like, it's just so wild though, because I think like sometimes when people don't like go through struggle, they like just like, but again, like the Let Them theory book, right? I was telling you earlier, it's like, you gotta let people, if they don't want to be accountable, you gotta let them not be accountable and just like let them be the way they are, because they are gonna get what's coming. Like, just let them suffer. Like, let them suffer in their own life. Like, don't let them affect you. Like, let you walk away from that.
Absolutely. And I can't coddle people. Like, I can't reparent people. I can't coddle people. I can't make them feel remorse for the way they behave. I can't make them see, I can let them know that they're hurting my feelings. I can be honest about the way that they're treating me, whether or not they're receptive to it, and whether or not they decide to make changes in their behavior and they're accountable. Like, I can't force that, but I can have a boundary. And I do feel confident more so now than what I used to in setting boundaries. Because I mean, I still to some degree probably do people please, but I'm way less pleasant than I was a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay being the villain in someone's story because I'm the hero in mine.
Yeah,
Because I chose me. And like,
I mean, you're gonna be a villain in
T.
someone's story like all the time.
Yeah.
Regardless, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like you just have to like make sure that as long as you don't feel like it, you'll like, and that's not taking accountability. Because sometimes like people will make you out to be the villain because that's the story they need to tell themselves to keep you at the level that they know you to be, even if you have grown out of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and you can have remorse for maybe the things you did or didn't do that were correct in a in a past life. Like, you can have remorse to be like, hey, maybe I could have responded a better way back then and make peace with that. But like, I refuse to take the narrative that I am like the ultimate villain in everything. Because I've always asked, like, my biggest pet peeve is when I hear somebody say like, oh my God, all my exes are crazy. I'm like, what did you do to engage in a toxic dynamic? And I'm not trying to victim blame. I'm not trying to shame.
Mm-hmm.
If you were really in like a narcissistic abusive relationship where it was like very, very psychological mind games, because there are people that are doing that. I'm not speaking to you right now. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about people that are always the victim, or they're like, you know, what was I doing to engage in this push and pull?
If they're complaining.
Yes. And it's like, okay, but like, you also, there was two people in this relationship. Like, I'm sure there were things that you also did to contribute to it. I'm not saying any one person's at fault, but you need to take accountability.
Yeah, it's like you always have to take your own part, because it's like what you complain about is what you're choosing. Absolutely. And it's like, maybe that's why you had so many exes, because like you complain about all these things, like you keep on going back towards the same type of person because you're not changing it and you're not acknowledging maybe your part that you contribute to it. And that was the hardest lesson I had to learn for like the toxic things in my life. Like, girl.
Oh, yeah. Been there, did that work, definitely engaged in toxic dynamics in the past, definitely was a part of some of the toxic dynamics, definitely contributed to making things worse, but in no way, shape, or form am I the sole proprietor in that suffering. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I will die on that hill that it took two to tango. And, you know, in any toxic dynamic, you know, one partner may be better than the other at some point in time, but the dynamic was not good for a reason.
And like, obviously give yourself some grace, because sometimes like right now I'm in I just lost my common sense like season a little bit, you know? And so I'm crashing out a little bit, but it's like, I know I still have that self-awareness. So like, I'll be fine. But I also like, even today I was texting Emily earlier. I was like, I can't complain about this anymore, because the more I complain about it, I'm realizing that I'm choosing this. So it's like, I cannot be in the victim mindset, because if I get into the victim mindset, I'm going to think the world's against me, which it's not. And that is like an old me type of thing.
Yeah. Well, it gets in the way of abundance mindset. You know, it is so hard when you're down bad and you're like thinking like, why is the universe taking everything away from me? Why is it me all the time? Why can't I find, you know, X, Y, and Z? But then you're thinking in the inverse, like, what if this is to protect me? What if this was not for my highest good? What if because this door closed, one more opened?
Yeah.
And it's so hard when when you really feel so down and you don't think that there's any kind of way out, or there's no light at the end of the tunnel. And then at the end of the day, you're like, well, shit, everything had to fall in this sequential order for me to be where I am at the optimal state.
Yeah. And that's why I feel like I'm kind of proud of myself, because I'm like, in the past, I probably wouldn't have been able to even like say that. I would have been like in that loop of like, oh my God, everything's against me, whatever. But like, that's when I say like, girl, it took me like a decade, and like maybe like halfway through the decade of therapy when I started to finally be able to like change the mindset that I had of like being able to like pull myself out of like being down bad, of like, for example, right now, like job searching, or like even like life wise, like rejection, whatever. It's like I could always pull myself back up and be like, wait. What the fuck are you doing? Right. What the fuck are you doing? Why are you thinking the world's against you? No one's against you. You are against you right now because you think that you're not enough for all these things. It's just not the right time either, or it's not the right opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's like, once I notice that, I'm like, bitch, my common sense is back.
Yeah, you're doing great. You know, you're doing a really good job at self-regulating too, which is very hard. It is so hard to self-regulate. The amount of times I've spiraled out, micro spirals, you know, and you just have to remember, yank the emergency cord, get back.
Or call me at 3 a.m.
Did I call you at 3 a.m?
Yeah, once.
Oh, God.
Oh. But I loved it because I was still up. The fact that I was still up and you were like, you knew I was still up.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I did call you at 3 a.m. Okay. You know what? We all get those emergency calls.
But you know I'm always up, eh?
I know, you're always up, too. And you call me, too, and you know I'm up, and I'm like, hello, you know. Yeah. You know. We're good like that.
I know.
We answer each other's calls in the middle of the night.
Period. I was thinking of like what to tie the knot with this episode because it was kind of a random episode, but I also feel like like when you have to catch up with someone, and like I feel like we've been catching up right now too, like on this episode because like you've been gone for so long and I missed you.
I missed you too, baby.
So y'all caught up with us, and yeah. We'll save, I guess, some juices for the next episode.
Yeah, juicy tea.
Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, okay, I will plug this sweatshirt. It's probably my new favorite sweatshirt that I own. I'm going to get really close to the camera. Okay. So this sweatshirt says Sarah Rose Cosmetics American Teen Princess Pageant. And this movie is probably one of my favorite movies of all time. It's Drop Dead Gorgeous, cult classic. I'm obsessed with this movie. You cannot find it anywhere on streaming except for this like one app.
What app?
Oh, I have to call our one friend to tell us.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's
hard. I know, and it sucks because I'm pretty sure its own like HBO Max should have it, and they don't. So I'm very confused why they don't have it. But if anyone likes mockumentaries, it's probably one of, if not my favorite movie or my second favorite movie.
Ooh. I need to watch it. Okay, we need to figure out how to watch this so I can watch it.
You can find it on your phone and then I guess stream it to your TV. But it's one of the best movies ever created.
Wait, so it's called Drop Dead Gorgeous?
Yes.
Is that where Drop Dead Diva came from?
No, so Drop Dead Gorgeous was, I think it came out in like 98. It has Kirstie Alley, Denise Richards, like Kirsten Dunst.
Oh my God.
It has
wait, that's
who I love her. Oh my God, she plays the mom in Juno. She's in all the movies. Allison Janney. Oh, it has star-studded cast when they were all young. It has Brittany Murphy in it.
Ooh.
Yeah, it has. I mean, it's so funny. The writing in it is brilliant.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we have to watch it.
Well, because when you said it earlier, I thought it was Drop Dead Diva because that was a really good show. You don't like it?
No. I was gonna say no. This movie it's about like a beauty pageant and so funny. It's funny. You talk about being down bad, and you like when you were down bad, you sung Adele. When I was down bad, one of our mutual friends, I've known this person since college. He's just very near and dear to my heart. He came over. He knew I hadn't slept all night. He knew I was so stressed. He came over and we watched it on my couch. And he's like, you need this. And I was like, this is one of the sweetest things. And that was the night that we went out and had a really good time in West Hollywood. So, yes, shout out to all the friends in your life that pull you out of down bad situations with your favorite movies. Like this one, Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Drop Dead Gorgeous.
I know.
My people used to be like Drop Dead Dean.
Whoa. Full circle.
No.
Don't you ever drop dead, baby.
Maybe.
Don't you ever drop dead, baby.
Don't send me to 5150. Just kidding.
He has a plan and a promise.
Very good. Anyway, thanks for listening to this episode. Again, you can find us on Instagram at Definitely Delusional Podcast. I never remember the username, but I'm going to link it. Leave us a voicemail. If you have a question, I honestly haven't even checked this. So if you guys have been like leaving voicemails, I will comb through them. And if you have DM'd us questions, I will look at the requests, I promise. My name is Dean.
And I'm Emily.
And we will see you in next week's episode. Mwah. Love you, baby.
Bye.
Bye, girly pop.